What's up, Crypto Crew, and welcome back. Or if this is your first time, I'm Captain Crypto Might, actively escaping the matrix, scoping out the crypto ocean. So if you like your odds, get on the boat, stay up to date, thumbs up, and join the hunt.
Into the boat!
Crypto Crew, we know Kaspa's potential from a technical and performance-based point of view.
I want the project to be very decentralized, and there's a natural tendency to form communities around founders, and I hope and wish the community to be formed around itself, and I wish myself to just be part of it. Thanks for everyone for coming, and just consider me one of the crowd.
I believe that once all of these things are implemented and in place and proven themselves, Caspa will actually be the only layer one you actually need. It could be spacious enough and performant enough and cheap enough to support all of the utility you need to hold all of the layer 2s you could ever dream about putting on a network.
But today you will learn how Kaspa pursues cultural decentralization. Stay tuned, Crypto Crew. Prove all things, hold fast that which is good. Now, before we start, Crypto Crew, always remember to keep your crypto investments safe. Practicing self-custody is key, especially during this 2025 bull run. In my personal opinion, the Tangent wallet is your best option. Plug and play, easy to use, and the most affordable cold storage out there. So if you wish to order your Tangent wallet today, you can get 10% off using code CryptoCrew, link in the description box below. Thanks so much for your consideration and support in advance, and may the Lord Jesus Christ bless you all. Crypto Crew, Kaspa's decentralized, but not just from a technical and performance-based point of view. Did you know Kaspa also is culturally decentralized? Here to explain is Monica Foreman, Director of Communications at KEF, or Kaspa Ecosystem Foundation, going over 5 underlying principles of cultural decentralization. Shout out to Cliff Choi for the footage.
Let's start with principle number 1, radical equality. Only when we recognize that every node, person, and entity in the ecosystem is equal, even though different, can we prevent a situation where someone wants to seize more power and tell others what to do. We have to assume that no actor or contributor is better than another, therefore, there can also be no hierarchy of opinion. Each opinion has the same weight. Talent is not concentrated in one place, nor is the truth. Now you might ask, how then do we know what to follow or what should be done? And the answer is competition. If we have competition, the most suitable solution, the most suitable person will win. And for that competition to be meaningful, everyone who wants to be a part of it should be a part of it with no barriers of entry, something that we strive for in Caspa. Now, how can we ensure that? Firstly, we need to have a mental switch. We needed to understand that there is no such thing as a harmful opinion. An opinion on its own does not harm anyone in the ecosystem, and ultimately, we follow what everyone thinks is most suitable. Secondly, there is no blame by association. The fact that someone in the ecosystem promotes a certain project or idea does not reflect on anyone else in the ecosystem doing that. Thirdly, and this is crucial, people are capable of judging for themselves, and we need to trust them to do their own research. Now, how does it look like in practice? A prime example is the KRC20 tokens. It is no secret that Jonathan, sitting here, does not like those tokens, and yet he does not want and cannot prevent them from happening in the ecosystem because this is a decentralized space, and he knows that some people do see value in them. Therefore, they are still there. The third way of implementing that is amplifying various voices, and this is something we in CAP really strive for. So we see it in the fact that we have an open call for devs, because we know that they are out there, and they are not necessarily our friends or people that we know, and we want to find them. Secondly, and this is something implemented this year, we see that many events are community-led. We could have stepped in the beginning of the year and said, okay, let's plan an event calendar. But we recognize that many people who love Caspa have a lot more knowledge about their communities than we do. Therefore, we came up with a scheme of giving them the funds and then having them run the show. So we had that in events in France, in the Netherlands, in Romania, and we will have much more. Also, when it comes to thought leadership, we believe that various voices convince various people. Therefore, we want to have a variety of people who are speaking for Caspa. They need to be new, they need to be experienced, they need to be from everywhere in the world, they need to be tech people, non-tech people. You will see in the following 3 hours a variety of people presenting. Second principle is the invincible hand of the ecosystem. People are motivated by their own interest without anyone controlling the market. And this is not a bad thing, because ultimately through that we can create a better common good. The second one is incentive. People are driven by incentives created in the market, and those incentives can align ultimately to the creation of better outcomes. What does it look like in Caspa? First of all, it's a zero-trust ecosystem. The developers do it brilliantly by using game theory. They understand that people have self-interest, and yet, instead of trying to punish them, they understand that we can just change the incentives in order to make sure that everyone benefits while still serving their interests. That's why, while Ethereum struggles with MEV, Caspa has a very good solution and is MEV resistant. Also, we see that in the ecosystem by the fact that the more competition, the better. So, for example, we in CAF understand that having multiple L2s is a good thing all in all, because this means that they would compete more for the benefit of users and for the benefit of builders. Then, the third principle being that everything is in flux. Now, in crypto, they say that a month is like a year in real life. So many changes happening in the ecosystem. That's why it would be silly to have a dogma. It would be very silly to say, we always do that, we never do this. We should talk more in the rhetoric of having a suitable solution rather than the right solution. And suitable solution is suitable for the time, for the place, and for the people. This also means that in this ecosystem, we have to be very flexible. So when we think about marketing, for example, the marketing of an upcoming project is not the same as the marketing of a project that aims to be in the leading top 5. Also, we have to think about different demographics for Caspa. We of course have to think about the existing community, but we also have to think about traders, we have to think about degens, we have to think about the POW enthusiasts. All of them matter. And even the developments on Caspa change in priorities, timing, and so on. Fourth principle, communication is key. When no one can tell anyone what to do, only persuasion creates mobilization. I cannot command anyone to do anything. It has to be out of their own will. Therefore, the way to move people is to show them there is value to them. And in Caspa, this also means cross-cultural communication. Secondly, we say that even if you do the most amazing things for Caspa, because there is no top-down communication and no official channel, if you do something, you have to publish it, or else no one will know. And there are many sources of information. Thirdly, you can only control your image, because whatever an actor does in the ecosystem affects only them. You can only be in charge of what you do. And a very curious example for that is that we in CAF can do a lot of marketing. We can pay for events, we can have people around. But ultimately, Caspa's branding is determined by its technology and by the interactions that people have with it in an accumulative way. Therefore, it is something that all of you create and not just us as one actor in the network. Fifth principle. Nothing will come of nothing. No one will do things for you in the ecosystem. If you want it done, do it yourself. And if you want to go big, give others reasons to collaborate with you, or create incentives for them to want to do that. This can be some sort of mutual interest, this can be money, this can be acknowledgement, but you needed to motivate others and not just assume people will do it. So why would we need a foundation? And the answer is, we don't. But it sure does help to have a foundation. Because a foundation allows us to have pooled resources and to have initiatives that no single person can have. A foundation can prevent stagnation and encourage competition, breaking monopolies by having more and more actors in the ecosystem. And it can empower various voices, giving them various platforms so you could all hear from them. It is an open door for communication should one want to communicate with it. And it is a connector. It has the ability to find people, initiatives, and resources across the network and connect those who want to be connected because it knows everyone in this network.
This is why I believe Kaspa goes beyond crypto and it will grow in adoption, which will be a matter of time and adoption. Shout out to Monica Foreman, Kaspa KEF, and Cliff Choi for the recording. Prove all things, hold fast that which is good. Let us know your thoughts about this cultural decentralization in the comment section below.
Stick around.
Fix your mind before you get to the grind. And with that said, let's continue to escape the matrix. Let's continue to be on the lookout for the next big thing here on the crypto ocean. Grow in grace and let's make some crypto waves. Say aye.